Of all forms of slavery, there is none that is so harmful and degrading as that form of slavery which tempts one human being to hate another by reason of his race or color. One man cannot hold another man down in a ditch without remaining down in the ditch with him.
Booker Taliaferro Washington was born a slave on a farm in rural Virginia. When he was 9, a stranger came to the farm.
Some man made a little speech and then read a rather long paper. After the reading, we were told that we were all free and could go when and where we pleased. My mother, who was standing by my side, leaned over and kissed her children while tears of joy ran down her cheeks. She explained to us what it all meant, that this was the day for which she had been so long praying, but fearing that she would never live to see.
The year was 1865. Booker and his family soon moved to West Virginia, where he briefly worked as a salt packer and coal miner before attending a new school, which was to become Hampton University. Hampton's founder, Samuel Armstrong, was so impressed with Booker's hard work and scholarship that in 1881 he gave 25-year-old Booker a strong recommendation to become the first principal of the new Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute, which would become Tuskegee University. Under Washington's leadership, Tuskegee provided black students with a combination of academic instruction and practical skills such as carpentry and masonry.
No race can prosper till it learns that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as in writing a poem. It is at the bottom of life we must begin, and not at the top.
An energetic and powerful speaker, Washington became an important leader in the African American community during the late 1800s. In his most famous speech, known as the Atlanta Compromise Address, he sought to reconcile both whites and blacks to the social and economic realities of the time.
There is no defense or security for any of us except in the highest intelligence and development of all. If anywhere there are efforts tending to curtail the fullest growth of the Negro, let these efforts be turned into stimulating, encouraging, and making him the most useful and intelligent citizen. Effort or means so invested will pay 1,000% interest. These efforts will be twice blessed, blessing from him that gives and from him that takes. There is no escape through law of man or God from the inevitable. The laws of changeless justice bind oppressor with oppressed, and close as sin and suffering joined, we march to fate abreast. Nearly 16 million of hands will aid you in pulling the load upward, or they will pull against you the load downward. We shall constitute 1/3 and more of the ignorance and crime of the South, or 1/3 of its intelligence and progress.
Following this speech, Washington was increasingly seen as the spokesman for African Americans. His ideas and powerful personality attracted the attention of many well-known politicians and philanthropists, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Rogers, and John D. Rockefeller. The result was the creation of countless small schools across the South and the continued growth of the Tuskegee University. In 1901, Washington published his autobiography, Up from Slavery. It quickly became an influential bestseller. Later that year, he was invited to the White House as a guest of President Theodore Roosevelt, an event